Hey guys, I don't do, channel update videos a lot, and, normally I wouldn't be doing one, but it's kind of on several interconnected issues that I'm currently battling with. And the first is what you can see right here, so mirrored images. And yeah, at the end of July, beginning of August, YouTube did something to their copyright system. Either updated their bots, allowed new bots in, updated the programming of the copyright bots they have, but basically Toei and Sabana have been abusing the crap out of them, and, well, you can see the damage already just from me scrolling down this list. Some of these are, not new, some of these are old, some of these go back way long time. Most of them touching on pretty much anything and everything you could think of that has been Tokusatsu related for my channel. Some of them are still up and running. Some of them have just been monetized by the hosts, and some of them have ended up getting blocked worldwide. Most pertinently, the Blade reviews. So if you were wondering why those kept going up and down, yeah, that would be the primary reason. I can open this right now, and I can tell you which section they claimed. And the problem is, and why they keep going up and down, is that, I fix the sections they claim. I try to have these up 2 weeks to a month in advance of when I would actually release them publicly, simply so I can deal with any type of claim that, would result from this. This is claiming all of 17 seconds, and the issue with YouTube videos getting flagged is that for fair use to apply, you need to have the each video clip play for less than 10 seconds. That is the agreed upon ruling. The problem is, I've checked this section of the video, the length of the clip in there, and it's not 10 seconds. It's not longer than 10 seconds. I have clipped it specifically so that it is at max 9 seconds, and then a difference in time between the next segment is approximately 4 to 5 seconds. It's not exactly consistent. I can usually go down as low as 3 seconds, but I try to keep it that so that it doesn't get flagged. But the problem with this newest update is that it no longer recognizes that. You can have two segments that are from the same video that are 10 seconds apart from each other, and it will still flag. So what I've ended up having to do lately is, for trying to fix these, and in fact I'm doing that right now with testing an upload for the double videos. If I go into my video manager, you can actually compare the very little progress I've been making. A bunch of the double videos from last year got claimed, and I'm trying to get those are what I've been currently experimenting with. Begins Night, Double Forever, and Moving War Core all got fixed because instead of clipping them as I normally do, I go in, and where I previously had clips between them, I have instead freeze-framed on the divide and then just cut it up further, trying to grab sections with the actual dialogue, so as I usually do, which will allow people to basically follow along in the conversations that are in the Japanese version, which is usually why I do that is simply so, I have supporting dialogue to my claims, because with Japanese series like this, sometimes something can get lost in translation, even with good translators. So, I feel it helps with supporting my points. But basically, with the sheer amount of videos that Toei has gone on to attack, this is over 120 hours of work just right here. See, it's not just about finding that specific clip and fixing that and then getting the video up. No, it takes a bit more than that. This is my editing program, Pinnacle Ultimate Studio version 14. It is a very old program. If you want to get into this yourself, I would honestly recommend taking the time to learn how to use Adobe's, not Adobe, what was the thing called? I don't actually use it, so, I'm forgetting the name of the program. It's the one most people use. Jeez, I have terrible memory for these kinds of things. But yeah, Pinnacle is not the best program to use for this, but it's what I have on hand. This is actually part 2 of the Hibiki reviews, and unfortunately, I'm sorry to say I'm not going to be able to continue working on those this year, simply due to the time sink getting all of these videos is up with. And I'll probably be able to finish those, I'm hoping, assuming that, you know, I don't have more copyright claims to all of these videos, which I'm sure as hell to have. Yeah, with this, like, I can change one clipping here, but then to actually get it to render, I need to get it to background render. Now, I usually don't enable background rendering while I'm actually editing something because it massively increases the amount of processing power my editing program is taking on it. So it's usually just best to finish the video, let it pre-render, and then go into the movie-making process to actually get it out. This actually speeds up the movie-making process immensely, because usually what it takes to do is the video background renders for about an hour. Then it takes another hour for the video to process. This is depending on the length. The longer a video is, the longer it takes to render, yada yada. With the length of my videos, usually around 30 to 40 minutes, it's usually ballparks in about an hour. So, that's 10-15 minutes to fix the, specific segments, and that is including, by the way, going into the, look of how I have these. These little test segments, I check the sections where I'm fixing. Basically, the length of them is equivalent to, like, what audiovisual content was claimed before. I fix it, then I render out a segment. I render out the segment that I previously had claimed to see that it'll be checked on YouTube. Often, actually, the part of the problem right now is I can, like, right here, double returns axle, blocked worldwide. The blocked worldwide clip is the exact same one that got claimed here, and then test again here. So they keep claiming the same sections of video as well that I fixed. So it's like I can re-upload the fixed version of Axel again, and I'm dead certain that this exact same clip that their system said was fine here is going to show up as flagged again. It's just the same way that this program is screwing up. But anyways, back on point, I render out the test sections, then I have to go in and get all of this rendered out again. So if it wasn't previously pre-rendered, and since the background rendering files take up a massive amount of my hard drive space, like I have about a dozen of these fixed videos pre-rendered right now, and that's eating up 129 gigabytes. Yeah, that's a lot of space. So if they go down again and I haven't pre-rendered them, that's still going to take more time to get it up. So I'm basically ballparking for all the videos that I have to, like, replace on there 120 hours of time consumption, with the remainder of that being just, you know, getting it uploaded onto YouTube, which takes between 30 minutes and 2 hours, depending on the quality of my internet at the time. Now, this is conflicting with a few things. One, work, as in my day job, which is quite strenuous and makes it pretty much so when I'm exhausted, I'm pretty much in a haze where I can't work on these effectively. So 4 days out of the week, I'm not in a condition to really fix these, which leaves the last 3 days. The fifth day of my week tends to be where the haze is worst, but I can compensate on that with, like, getting something in me that gives energy, like orange juice. I've been a bit too reliant on energy drinks to wake myself up on these days, and sometimes I like to do streaming on those days, to not even get into the vlogs I like to do for all that kind of stuff, but yeah, it's not exactly the most healthy, so basically I'm the most productive only 2 days out of the week now, and that's not really good for baseline video editing. The bigger problem is I have developed a repetitive stress injury in my thumb, and this is actually a bit more concerning, as this started to develop last year when I was working on the Kyoryuger videos and the Dino Charge massive review, and it started to go away after I had a month of rest in November. It came back a bit when I started doing the .act G review advertisement for Last Recode, and came back infrequently throughout this year, and basically it's at the point where if I don't take several months off from doing this stuff, I could entirely lose the ability to use my thumb. Now, the problem there is, well, I can game and browse and do some other technical stuff with my left hand. I can't edit Southpaw. It's just I don't have the fine control of my left hand to basically do any major editing. In fact, this is part 2 of the Hibiki reviews, and if, like, I could barely do it. It's been more than doubling my editing rate, and the stress damage is getting so bad I can't even progress through it. This was days to even get this done, and for those wondering how far I'm into the editing of how far I'm into the editing of Hibiki, well, this is part 2 of 7. I've gotten part 3 done. Everything else is recorded, but, like, on top of not having the time, if I don't take, like, the time off from all video editing, like, I'm at the point where I potentially wouldn't be able to physically be able to do it anymore. Or at least, if I tried to develop the ability to do it Southpaw'd, like, that would so massively increase the amount of time that I would even be able to do it. So, basically, I'm at the impasse where I am disinclined to do videos on Tokusatsu stuff because of how frustrating and time-consuming it is that even if you have a good presentation for everything, you're going to get culled entirely. Oh, and this is all not even getting into the bullshit Saban has been putting me through with their claims. Like, every Power Rangers video is blocked differently than the ones Toei makes. So I know this is Saban doing their work to silence criticism. Visual content manually detected, no time frame claims, blocked in some countries, and then blocked in the same eastern regions. Japan, Laos, Macau. This is how I know that this is Saban doing this crap to basically silence criticism. Now, they tend to slack this off onto Toei, but I can usually find a significant difference between what is done by Saban and what is done by Toei. Visual content. They basically automate bots to claim their stuff, and they are a difference between can't monetize it and can't basically block bots, but it's never consistent block bots. Like, I just showed you Kyoryuger Part 3, it was not blocked in 8 countries, it just disabled monetization. Then this is the second half of Versus Go Busters, video blocked in all countries. Your video cannot be played. So if you're wondering what happened to that one, that's what happened to that one. And then I go to Kyoryuger Part 6, blocked in some countries. And it is blocked in... oh look, 17. This is usually a Saban claim, but a Saban claim bot, excuse me. And what was it on this one? Returns not blocked worldwide. Not blocked worldwide. I had one recently where it's, like, blocked in 243 countries, where it's everywhere but Sweden and Vietnam. Yeah, blocked in 247 countries. Your video can't be played outside of South Korea and Taiwan. It's like, it's very inconsistent what bots block what, and it's like, should there not be some consistency to it? But yeah, that's the dilemma I'm under. I'm losing my capability to even edit videos and have my show run, which means if I want to continue that, I need months and months of physical therapy and rest where I'm not stressing this as I have been, which, hey, all these minor edits I can do Southpaw, I just can't do bigger videos without having all that happen. And also the second problem of, why should I even do this anymore when Saban and Toei are being so awful about it? I mean, I don't have this problem with Tsuburaya, and Tsuburaya are understandably copyright Nazis with their stuff due to their continuing lawsuit and distribution problems concerning Chayo, I don't remember if it's a Chinese or Japanese company, but basically there's rights litigation over Chayo claiming that they have distribution rights of Ultraman everywhere outside of Japan, which is ludicrous for many, many reasons. And, well, basically, even Tsuburaya is very, what's the phrase? Not controlling, but hostile to people claiming their stuff when they shouldn't be. In fact, they've been putting recent Ultraman episodes on YouTube to increase distribution and then having to block them from them being seen in other countries due to this whole lawsuit problem because they don't have proper distribution. I mean, Crunchyroll has been getting a bunch of Ultra series, but that's usually the one exception. So for them to not even go after the Ultraman Tiga reviews I did is astounding. The same with Tohoku Shinsha, who are the producers for the Garo franchise. Like, anything Garo I have done has never gotten a single copyright ID claim. And it's not because they're not active on YouTube and wouldn't know about it to claim it, because they are, but I believe they leave it alone because I am advertising a franchise that is actively being distributed and talking about the parts of it that haven't had distribution yet. So I believe they think I'm acting in promotion of it because I promote the Kraken DVDs. It's like, basically a review is a critique or a promotion of a product that's done by a independent individual. Sometimes some people like things that are bad. Some people like things that are goofy. It's like, it's discussing the merits. So, also, Toho with the Godzilla franchise and any of their monster movies. Like, whenever I've discussed them, okay, way back when, like, I did my first Godzilla review, and on some of my earliest YouTube channels, because I've tried at least 6 separate times to get up on YouTube, and this is the only account that's actually ever had any longevity and staying power, because earlier versions of YouTube were awful about just killing channels. But basically, only time I've had problems with Toho at all was that first review, which I admit to having horribly edited, as basically first 2 years I was doing the reviewer gig, no one told us the rules. There was no general guideline for what qualifies for fair use, which is the no consecutive clips showing the same scene for longer than 10 seconds thing. I clip it and I've gotten the habit of clipping it at 9 and moving forward the video 5 seconds, so that is no longer consecutive. That's basically how you get around that. And it's like, again, all of these other producers of tokusatsu or live-action content, and they don't touch me. Most of the anime I've talked about is currently licensed through Funimation, developed through, or in case the Mega Man Battle Network stuff, it was, B-Train, who is through Viz. And I've not had any issues with Funimation or Viz. Or, like, NAC for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. I have not had any problems with them. and it's because I use the same methodology. Toei are the only ones that have been that awful about it. Now, it's not just Toei and Saban I have copyright claims from, though, right now. Let's roll down. Rurouni Kenshin Legend Ends, the only one of the Rurouni Kenshin videos I actually got on YouTube. I'm betting this is a sequential clip, but probably one that was a bit longer than expected. Okay, yeah, I know where that specific video part it is, and I'm betting that they claimed a section where I was trying to showcase something in the video, which might have run long or wasn't cut evenly enough. Persona 4 Golden Part 2. Yeah, I know exactly what that is. I am completely letting them have that. What they claimed was the Uptown Funk montage I did in there. You know, the one where I put in the Too Hot, Hot Damn montage with Narukami being a lady killer. That copyright claim was claimed the second I put the video on YouTube, and you know what? That montage plays for more than 10 seconds. They want to claim that? I am totally okay with that. I have been okay with that since they claimed it last year. That is not one I am going to fix, because they're fully within their rights to want to claim it for that reason, because admittedly, that montage was not necessary. That montage technically wasn't fair use, so if they want to monetize it, I am totally okay with that. But the rest of these, it's like, fully in the context of fair use, they're claiming the clips because, also, this one is from Viacom. This is the only thing from Viacom I have, talked about. Viacom is the distributor for basically anything Nickelodeon related. Back when I got Patreon requested to do the Avatar videos, and at least the Last Airbender Avatar videos, and yeah, that one's... I'm gonna fix that one, but Viacom is also someone pretty notorious on YouTube for claiming the crap out of basically anything that they have the distribution rights for. So I did 6 videos in the Avatar franchise, and... okay, 7 if you include the Shyamalamalan movie, and this is the only one they went after. So even in comparison, for how bad Toei's claims have been for basically everything, it's like, what is even the point if they're going to be this awful? And it's not just this, it's the whole GO mess and my discontent with how they've done Lupin Ranger versus Power Ranger that, honestly, I am just so tired of dealing with that, or with their bullshit. It's so annoying that with everything else going on in my life, I'm not even certain I want to continue doing Tokusatsu videos. I could do them for anything Tsuburaya, Toho, and Tohoku Shinsha are responsible for, even though the glut of the massive output is from Toei, and we are getting more Toei shows from their backlog in America now. Even though the Shout Factory subs are complete shit, and you need to look no farther than, Millionfold Curiosity's Megan finally got a copy of Shout Factory's translation of Gingaman, and basically had this whole big blow-up on Twitter about how awful they were. And this was the people who do excellent fan subs of basically any content they touch, and they basically, when I first got the Gingaman set earlier this year, I had the exact same explosion against it as Millionfold Curiosity had, so that should really tell you how bad the Shout Factory sets are in comparison to Kraken sets, which are basically perfect. And Discotech is also going to be releasing Mega Beast Investigator Juspion, one of the Metal Hero series, as Space Wolf Juspion, with Space Wolf being what it was imported as in a few different countries. But according to them on that, they're also going to use a fan sub as the basis of their translation, basically doing it as a compare-contrast against their own work. And it's like, all of these things show that Shout Factory's job really isn't being done very well. For, Super Sentai is huge, and Power Rangers is huge, and yet a lot of people feel that they're not doing it well, and it's like, do I really want to continue supporting and promoting such half-assed work? It's basically the same thing as what I've been dealing with Toei, even though I haven't had problems with Shout Factory as a distribution company, since I own a lot of Shout Factory collections of other series. So again, I'm faced with the dilemma of, do I really want to continue putting myself through this when there are so many other things I could be doing? I want to stream stuff. My roommates and I are going to be getting, like, Zoe Enters Mars, the Spyro HD collection, which we all love. Pokemon Let's Go, either Pikachu or Eevee. I am currently leading Pikachu. And Smash Brothers and other Switch games, and we want to actually have fun with those and stream us having fun. I want to get us doing World of Warcraft stuff, because the best way to play World of Warcraft is in a group, and for years, like, I just want to go through the story stuff for that, and I've never been able to find a collaborative group to go through it with me. I finally want to do that with them, as well as anyone else that wants to join in. I want to do these things that I would otherwise not be able to do because of how time-consuming even getting these videos up by Toei-based stuff is. So it's like, what's the point? Like, I love doing RPG reviews. I think that's a high diversity of content, and yet I never end up getting through what I want to for the year because I'm working on these stupid videos that Toei just keeps taking down anyways, when the only claim I've had for video game stuff is, like, opening sequences. What's claimed in when I streamed Dragon Ball FighterZ and Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, yeah, those were both just the opening sequences for those games. That was it. And again, Persona 4 Golden, it's not the game content that got claimed for that, but my extended use of a song longer than 10 seconds. So, again, I could just go back to doing just game reviews like I wanted to start out as, talking about RPG stuff. Hey, it would still be time-consuming because I have a day job, but at least I wouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. I could still do shorter movie reviews, sure, but as those are, like, not as time-consuming, and, like, I could say do all of the Super Sentai Versus movies and just sequentially say what I think about those series in those Versus movies, but that really only works from, like, O-Ranger versus Kakuranger, which I've already reviewed, onwards, so I wouldn't be able to really talk about Showa series besides their short team-up specials that really aren't character-focused, and the problem with even doing that for the Versus movies is most of the Versus movies suck because the characters are not in character, and the situation they are in is not properly reflective of the show they are actually from. So a lot of Toei's crossover movies basically play out the same way as disrespecting the characters. So that's not exactly showing all of these properties in a good light if the light they are shown in the movies is just, like, so terrible towards them. It's like, it's the big criticism of Toei crossovers that have only really been ironed out in the 2010s, and even that's been a crapshoot as well, because basically for Sentai, anything post Kyoryuger has had terrible team-up things, and the Kamen Rider crossover events are tolerable if they're winter-based ones, and outright terrible if they're spring-based ones. The summer crossover events for, like, Space Squad, for some reasons, actually any summer movie event for Toei's tends to automatically be good, so it's very strange in that relation, but if I were to just do that for Toei, if I was just to do crossover movie event reviews for Toei properties, it would not reflect well on a lot of the characters and casts most of the time, and that's not as effective as basically the long-form reviews I do, which are more based on, like, collections of what SF Debris does with his Star Trek reviews, or some of his anime reviews, and basically, I'm finding it less and less worth it over time. That said, I'm not completely done. If I'm going to conclude this, I'm going to conclude it with Gokaiger, but I just really need a long break from all of this. And to get an idea of how far along I am on this, oh, and because I really like this bit of the Hibiki reviews, I'll just let you see that right now. Hopefully I have desktop audio running, so I wanted to show off, so on me. This was actually the one I wanted to show off. I liked this bit with Todoroki. For the record, I liked the first half of Hibiki, so I'm gonna stop that there. That was Lightning to Heaven from Tetrafang. Tetrafang being the musicians behind most of Kiva's soundtrack. So there you have an idea of what I was doing for Hibiki with some of the writers and their whole music thing being reflected through appropriate themology. It's like I wanted to do so much more with this. I had good ideas, I had good snark, I had good commentary, and I can't get it up. I can't get it up on YouTube anymore. And it's like, here's another example of stuff that was in the works. This is my script for Kabuto. It is done. I am not kidding on that. The script for the Kabuto reviews, it's still, like, I've got to proofread it. I'm basically pretty deep into proofreading through it, but yeah, that was basically the only thing I had left to do for this, and 6 videos in the movie. That was all ready to go. That was all ready for next year because, okay, I wanted to do it at the end of this year, but yeah, how time played out, that wasn't going to work, and I basically can't due to, like, the stress damage to my hand where it's going to be preventing me from editing very much, and, like, just time consumption for everything I want to do. So even that's not going to be seen much. Now, if you're wondering, this does not mean that I'm going to not be doing any new videos this year, because this is just an idea of how crowded my videos folder is. Stuff in the Dome arc. I've got that done. For Halloween videos, I have, where is it? Zero Black Blood is actually not rendered yet because I'm waiting to comment on the Garo Kami no Kiba movie and see how the Jenga series starts out before I add any commentary. But the second of the Halloween episodes was going to be the 0091 live-action movie. 0091 being another thing Shotaro Shinomori wrote that, well, was pretty heavily butchered in live-action adaptation, to no one's surprise. So, yeah, that was something else I was set up to do this year, and those are ready, but I'm not going to have much available for November, and December is straight out because I can't get Hibiki done. That's not like me complaining, it's just facing a reality that I want to finish that, but the damage it'll do to my hands simply is not worth it for basically what keeps resulting out, because I can just take honestly, with what I'm earning from YouTube right now, I can just take a overtime day at work, add another 10 hours to my paycheck, and due to overtime work laws, that basically averages out to what I earn from YouTube at my current rate of production per month. Hell, it's higher than it. For that. It does worse damage to my body, but at least I would then have off time for, like, streaming stuff, because that's not as strenuous as editing has become, and I think I would have more fun with that, and just, you know, having good conversations with my friends who are my roommates, and my friends through Skype, and my friends through Discord, and some of the conversations I have with people in the chat that has been resulting from talking about something I normally really enjoy and want other people to enjoy as well. Now, looking towards the future, I could certainly do shorter form videos that just are trivia things or my overall thoughts on a series. I was actually intending to move towards those with basically everything Super Sentai because of how much of a time sink watching all the Super Sentai series before I do Gokaiger is. But honestly, even those are not looking to have much staying power in the current YouTube environment. But, you know, that's just the way things have been following with YouTube for quite some time now. Now, that doesn't mean that, besides, like, streaming stuff and doing video game stuff, that I'm going to be completely out of the Tokusatsu community. I should show you guys another couple projects I have in the works. First off, for people wondering, the reason why I've not been working on Dot Hack Retrospective for the remasters I wanted to do is, I basically, this is another thing that Tokusatsu video nonsense has been delaying. This is Tsukasa's wand. It is the papercraft version of it that I found a while ago. I simply want to make that, so I have that on top of the Gate of Ouroboros broadsword on my set. Like, I can finish that in a day if I take the time. Hell, this is supposed to be the actual physical rod for the base of the wand, and yeah, that's why I've not been going through that. The other reason is cosplay. I have been wanting to work on this for about a year. Yeah. I've not been having the chance to do it. The other reason is I actually want to make these. Yes. Now, the thing about these is, well, I want to base them on something else I did, like, a long time back. People who have looked at my DeviantArt page know that I actually started making custom core medals. Like, these are actually the designs from a Japanese artist named Myra, but if you've been on my DeviantArt page, you know I developed the original Papercraft Super core medals and the Megamax core medals. I have no idea where the Megamax one is, so I'll just pull that up on my DeviantArt page to just show you an example of what that was. House gallery. No, that's not the right thing. That's not the right thing. Yeah, I did these and, like, papercraft versions of the Sonic Colors Guy Memories years ago. Like, years and years ago. Wow, that was 2014. And with my experience with that, I want to take the time to basically do that with all of the energy items. Hell, if I can get someone to give me a clear version of the Metal Holder Chronos that was released a while ago and was featured in the show, I would be happy to make a papercraft version of that for people. And those are things I can do left-handed. Those are things I can work on while my right hand is in recovery. And those are things I think people would like if they want to just not take the time to collect all of the Butsuba Soul energy items, because apparently, from what I've been told, those can get really expensive. And especially this specific Chronos Metal Holder book runs for between $120 and $150. And, like, you can build this for a fraction of that cost between the designs for these printed out on cardstock and, like, just foam inserts for holding the medals. Hell, I did that originally for my core medal collection. I've built a bunch of these books, and I would be thrilled to make that all available for people. I just need a higher resolution version of this cover art, because otherwise, I zoom in and look how pixelated this is. Whereas I can go over to the one Myra did, and okay, there's some blocking from the pixels, but it's otherwise in much higher quality condition. And honestly, I would love to make that available for people if I could get the scans of that. Whereas with all of these, all the energy items, like, these are high-resolution scans that are on the Kamen Rider Wiki, and they're already in pretty good condition, and I can just make those out of the metal templates, and, well, I just need the time, and the thing that's kept facing me about having the time to actually put in this creative effort for these things is these goddamn videos from about Toei products that basically keep getting taken down anyways for stupid reasons. So, again, I'm faced with the frustration of, if it's delaying me from doing these other things, if it's bad to my health, if it's making me physically incapable to do things I enjoy, what's the point of continuing? So, yeah. I'm getting these videos up because I am very proud of the work I have done throughout these. I am proud of my analyses. It's just, I don't want to put the effort into it anymore for something that's just going to get taken down anyways. And I previously said that my roommate Matt will be helping me with getting Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Dragon Knight, and Faiz up on YouTube, because those are basically more recent videos that I want to get remastered and up on YouTube. Well, the last week or two, Shinichiro Shirakura, who I consider the worst producer at Toei because he more than any other is responsible for content that is popularly contested to disliked, released a number of interviews that basically had him talking out of his ass, and I need to heavily rewrite the introductory bits for several of those videos to address that nonsense, because basically everything he said and promoted is in contradiction to his body of work that is, at points, I want to say outright, I don't want to say offensive, but it is kind of insulting that he's that tone deaf to the criticism against series he is primarily responsible for, and the tone deafness of what he's saying. It's especially how it often conflicts with basically everything that has ever been seen of him and the criticisms against him. And it's like, to properly address that takes time. Revisions of that nature take time, and I'm basically putting the remastery project on those as well on hold, simply because I want to, one, see if he will indict himself even further with even more statements completely oblivious to what he's actually saying, and two, I really just want to put it all in proper context. Oh hey, this video finished processing in the time I've been talking about all of this. I've been ranting about this for 40 minutes. And lo and behold, blocked in some countries, and it is the exact same goddamn section. It is the exact same goddamn section. 43, 44 to 4359, that is the new one. The previous one was 43 to 44 to 4359. And this section, this tested video that did not get flagged by YouTube, that they are now saying in this video is blocked in some countries because it violates copyright, is completely fine on their platform right now. That entire same section. This is how broken YouTube's copyright system is right now. You can't make this up. So yeah, that's status updates. That is what I'm going to be doing in the interim while I am signing off from doing Tokusatsu videos. This is not the end of me doing Tokusatsu videos, but I am taking a long hiatus from them. You will likely see the reviews for Hibiki and Kabuto sometime next year. I still want to finish through Kabuto. I do. I actually thought the Kabuto script I made was really, really good, and moreover, really, really fair to Shoji Onomura, who I have been extremely hostile towards in the past, but basically Kabuto is the last good story he had in him to date, and unfortunately everything else has been crap, and I would honestly blame Toei's management of the guy in helping him develop as an author and writer. That is the reason why that is. So, yeah. I really liked how the Kabuto script turned out. I'm going to get done through that. I am unfortunately not going to get to Decade at all, period, next year, even though that is its 10th anniversary. I'm likely to not do discussion vlogs on Toei properties much longer, depending on how ZO turns out. Like, if that pisses me off, I'm not going to talk about it. And Lupin Ranger vs. Powder Ranger, as I said earlier, is, like, on that borderline where I don't really want to keep watching. So, yeah. You'll likely be seeing me less in a lot of respects outside of streaming videos, which honestly is not what I want my channel to be based around, but I just want to have fun again. Is that so much to ask? So yeah, that's the current state of affairs. First major live stream we will be doing is Zone of the Enders Mars on September 6th, depending on whether it releases digitally on the 6th. I for once bought a digital copy of the game. That one is going to be fun because PlayStation VR. Yes. I will see you all later.